you've got to at least be confident in your ability to deliver results for clients before you even set foot out the door to start promoting it. Okay. So a bit of in-person networking. So we've identified our ideal client. We figured out where they hang out. We've gone to them. However, we're going to get there. We're going to get in front of them. And then the final step then is we're going to show up regularly and often with the same consistent message. So this is one of the biggest mistakes I see small business, like startup business owners make, is and again, it's because the internet has made it so easy. It's almost set this precedent that we can just do a few posts and bang, off we go. Our business is set up and running. And then several months later, they're scratching their head going, well, why haven't I got any clients yet? So you need to show up daily. Like, go, if that event happens regularly, you're always in that event. If you get to know the people in that, you're WhatsApping those people. How did this conversation start? I hired a boat in Dubai and made a great experience for a small group of people. It's being really creative about how you bring people together and then start that conversation off with them, and then show up just saying the same thing over and over again. Like, I'm not bored of saying the same thing about pricing and money mindset, because I know that's what resonates with my audience. And for everybody listening, this will be potentially the first time you've heard me say this, but I've said the same stuff over and over, like hundreds, if not thousands of times, right? So, but a lot of startup business owners, they think they've got a message, they just need to put it out once and it'll work. No, you've got to say it like dozens of times before people start to pay attention. And that's it, essentially. I just get out there and just speak to people who are in your niche.
Okay, so the really interesting point you made there was about in-person networking. I really don't like in-person networking, mainly because I've been burned in the past when I first started the business, genuinely. Where I just found that everyone there was just wasting time. They just wanted to give out their business card and move on. And over months, I was like, this is not getting anywhere. You start looking at online methods and it starts to work better. But you're talking about niche meetups.
Meetups.
So how does someone find those, or how do they make sure that they are strategically correct for what they're trying to achieve?
So one of the things which I've started to do is I have to rewind a little bit, actually, because you were talking about your business, that idea starting up 3 years ago, and I feel I could jump ahead quite easily here. Okay. So we'll rewind a little bit. So thinking about that, like starting from zero, getting to the first, I don't know, say 100K. So that let's say your financial goal is 100K in year one, right, with your business. So we're kind of going to rewind and just do a bit of business planning first, just like 1-page business plan. Cool. Okay. So 100K year one, that's your target. How much do you think you might sell something for to a client? I know that's a very vague question.
$5,000.
So 5,000. Okay. So what we do is we take our revenue goal and divide it by the average order, like sale that we get, average sale that we get. So if we take 100K divided by 5K, you need 20 clients. Okay, in the next 12 months. So that's less than 2 a month, right? If you got 20 clients on board, thinking again a year ago, do you have the capacity to be able to deliver to 20 clients? Would you say? Okay, great. And you're fairly confident about that. Okay. So again, a lot of people start with marketing, which I inadvertently did there, but actually we want to get the business model right first. So 20 clients, 5K gives us 100K, right? How many, let's say you were on a sales call with the ideal client, what would your conversion rate be?
50%. Well, actually, if you're starting, so I'm starting out, right? So my first month in business. 25%.
So that's good. So you're pretty much banging it. So I always say that the sweet spot for a service business is about 1 in 5 to 1 in 3. So 20 to 30% roughly is a good conversion rate. If you're way over that, you're actually too cheap. If you're starting to get loads of yeses at 5K, what we want to do, because think of it as like the rev limiter on a car, right? You're in the red, trucking down the M5 or whatever with your foot on the accelerator. The car can't go any faster because we've hit our limit, right? And it's the same with an 80-90+% conversion rate. You're in the red. No matter how hard you push the accelerator to grow your business, it can't go any faster because we've hit the limit, right? So we raise our price to artificially reduce the conversion rate back down. Now we're cruising down the motorway, like 1500 RPM, and I don't know, economic conditions change, so our conversion rate drops a bit. Well, now we've got a bit of feedback. Maybe we get some sales training, we get better at sales, so now our conversion rate goes up. Well, now we need to raise our price again. So getting the business model right around like good conversion rates, and most importantly, profitability is probably the most important part. But to get those 20 clients through on a 1 in 4 conversion rate. So over the next 12 months, you've now got to sit 80 consultations. Mm-hmm. So that's 1.5 a week, 1 to 2 a week, say. Okay. So again, a lot of business owners, when they sort of create their default diary for their business, are like, right, client fulfillment first. Then we're going to smash out all of our spare time with marketing activities. And then finally, if somebody like says, oh, that sounds interesting, we're like, then they ask for a meeting with us. We're like, oh shit, I haven't got time for coffee. Because we've used up all of our time, right? So I always recommend to people, you introduce these things called lead indicators. Okay. So lead indicator is, right, we're going to put in those 2 empty consultation slots into our default diary first. And they are sacred. Nothing gets booked over those. And the goal becomes not, oh, I've got to do some marketing, what am I going to do? The goal becomes, and it's very subtly different, is what do I need to do this week to fill up those 2 consultation slots? So because if those consultation slots are filled, again, we're swinging the odds in our favor of actually converting some business. And again, it's, let's say, for example, let me ask you a different question now. Imagine for every one of those consultation slots, you've got to have, 8 to 10 warm conversations to get them booked. Okay, so we'll call those leads, right? So across the course of a year, you've got to generate 1,000 leads for your business. But imagine you want them all now, today, right? So I'm going to give you a little challenge. If you had to get 1,000 leads in the next 7 days,
7 days,
7 days, or like, and the consequence of you not achieving this is my little sausage dog Twiggy's going to get it. So you're now responsible for Twiggy's life.
Yeah.
What are you going to do to get 1,000 leads?
A lot of outreach, cold outreach, email, LinkedIn, phone calls, in person. I'd go and ask loads of questions. I'd go and find people and ask them, can I help you with this?
So now here's a question for you. So how long into your business has been going 3 years?
Yeah.
How long into your business was it before you started doing all of that?
We started with cold outreach.
So mainly
LinkedIn.
Yeah. So LinkedIn cold outreach.
Yeah.
Okay. And how effective was it for you? Did you get 1,000 leads?
But we probably didn't need 1,000 leads. Probably didn't get 1,000 leads. Yeah. But we got enough. Our sales conversion was probably higher than what we've just given it as an example.
Okay.
But 1,000's a lot over a year.
So most of the time when I ask small business owners this, first of all, we'll run ads, or we'll go to do social media.
But we were told to not do ads till you hit 250,000. Then you grow up to 250,000, sit ads on, then it becomes easy.
Yeah. So ads scale organic. So if you're already getting organic traction, and then you switch ads on, it means you've already built some marketing assets that are attracting people into your world. So, but the first place most people look at to scale is ads and organic. But they do it before. Ads and social, but before they've got organic traction.
I see.
Right, but so they've got nothing to scale, so to speak.
Yeah,
right?
Interesting.
So, I'll also, when I ask this question of like audiences, typically they'll say, "Oh, we'll go and like print some leaflets off and go and drop them around our local neighbourhood," or so we'll phone up like 1,000 business owners this week, and then I'll say to them, "Well, are you doing any of that?" And they'll go, "Oh no."
No, exactly.
Is it any wonder why it's not working?
Yeah,
you're not getting the traction because you want things to be easy and not do the hard work.
It's interesting to me that most people that you work with start with ads, because I would have started with ads.
No, we don't. The opposite. The opposite. I tell them not to start with ads. Yeah,
but most people try to.
They try to. Yeah, because they're not getting traction. Anywhere else.
I just think it's the same. If you start with ads, it's like giving a startup that's doing less than 50k a year £1 million. They're 100% going to burn through that. It's not going to. They're not going to get an ROI because they don't know what to do with it.
Well, I got a funny story actually. So funny enough, actually, yesterday I got this phone call at like 6 p.m. out the blue. So I didn't know the number. It's no 7 number, but so I thought, I'm not doing anything. I'll pick it up. And this guy said, "Oh, it's so and so from so and so. How are you doing?" And I'm like, "Sorry, who is this?" And he said, "Oh, I'm calling from X." And I was like, "I have no idea who you are." And he's like, "Oh, but you filled in one of our forms." And I was like, "When? Like how long?" And he was like, "Oh, I think probably we did the campaign a couple of months ago." And I was like, "You've only just got round to calling me."
Yeah, too slow.
Right. So too slow. I had no idea who the business was. Obviously, I'd filled out like a Facebook ad lead form, and just because you push a button and it puts your name and email in there, and then you get sent the free thing, right?
Yeah.
So there's not enough friction in there. Actually, in order to build relationships with people, you need to have friction in like your sales process. You need to slow the process down, have conversations with them, educate them, and various other things like that. But yeah, to wait 2 months, then call me and me not have a clue about the business, that's the power of ads, right?
Exactly. I mean, it takes a long time to learn all this stuff, doesn't it? But I think one of the cheat codes that we've come across, I'm now moving forward into the business as it is today, is that first 90 minutes. When someone first touches the business from an ad or whatever, we touch them quite a lot in the first 90 minutes because that's where the best conversion comes from. And we speak to people from other countries, a lot of people in Europe who are like, you've got to learn to sell so differently country to country. Luckily, we work mainly with the US and the UK and UAE, so it's very, very similar in the way that we operate. Like if I download something at 7 in the evening because I'm looking at using your services, for example, I want a phone call in half an hour. I want someone to talk to me, someone to, even AI, just to message me. I think that part is also where startups don't do very well. That, like you say, they just like, okay, we've got a lead, let's forget about that.
Don't have the resources, they just can't deal with the demand.
That's very true. But with AI they do, right?
Yeah.
With AI they can do all this stuff really, really quickly.
Yeah.